Welcome to Pitch-Chella. If you're watching this, chances are you're about to dive into one of the most exciting, but probably more intimidating opportunities of your career. So you might be wondering, how do I come up with a strong idea? And what are the judges actually looking for? Well, today, this is what it's about. We're going to unpack some of the tips and approaches to a great submission and a winning idea. Joining me today, we have Mike Wilson, one of the most respected humans in our industry. He's also an IMAA board member and chair of Pitch-Chella for the initial 2 years. Mike, thank you for joining us.
Thanks very much for having me, Sam.
So let's start with the foundations of Pitch-Chella. Why was Pitch-Chella created and what can the participants expect to get out of it?
Thank you. So the reason Pitch-Chella was founded originally is fundamentally two reasons, actually. So firstly, it's an interagency competition with awards and prizes up for grabs. But much more importantly than that, it's the opportunity for young professionals in our industry to hone their skills, to learn in a real life situation what it's like to pitch for business, because that's one of the most important aspects of our industry.
So now we know what Pitch-Chella is. What makes a great submission?
Good question, Sam, and it's the most important question. There's several aspects in a great submission, but fundamentally, no submission will be successful unless we have a really clear restating of the problem that we're trying to solve, some watertight, inspiring insights, a great strategy, and great media craft to deliver the solution. And all of those bases need to be covered for anyone to have a chance of success in this competition.
One thing we've noticed in past winning submissions is that the strongest ideas are often the simplest. Like a house of cards concept from last year's winning team. Why is that often the case that the simplest ideas are the best ones?
Well, often things can appear really simple, Sam, but there's a lot of work that goes into getting that presentation and delivering that sense. There's great creativity and thinking that goes into the presentation and the construction of what appear to be simple ideas. So this is an opportunity in your Pitch-Chella submissions to let your creative juices flow and come up with concepts that are exciting and inspiring. And often, as you say, they can appear to be very, very straightforward and simple. Both the House of Cards concept that won last year and the Black Tank concept that won in the inaugural year appear to be very, very simple media concepts brought to life, but they were done fantastically in the submissions.
Judges talk a lot about insights and strategy. For people entering this year, what actually makes a strong insight?
Well, I might answer that, Sam, by saying what an insight isn't. So an insight is not a set of facts or a list of stats or media delivery numbers. An insight is something that fundamentally unlocks a creative opportunity or a strategic opportunity. So a launching off point, if you like, for a great campaign idea. Some people might call it a human truth, for example. But it's really important that participants don't just think that media consumption statistics forms a set of insights, because that's not the case.
One of the criteria is innovative use of media. Can you talk about what that actually means?
Yeah, and innovative use of media is fundamental to the chances of success of participants in Pitch-Chella this year. We know that the people in our industry understand the craft of media planning and media buying and know what is delivered by media. However, what makes the difference and what makes the most famous and successful campaigns are people who work with the media, who understand how to mould media's characteristics to enhance and amplify the ideas that they're putting forward.
Mike, what are the most common mistakes teams make?
Some of the most common mistakes, Sam, are fundamental when it comes to award submissions. So please, can I urge all participants to make sure that they read all the requirements of entry, because if you miss one, it may disqualify you from participation. However, other mistakes that are made commonly is the confusion between stats and data with insights. The two things are really different. So nail your insight based on facts and data perhaps, or informed by facts and data, but nail your insight that leads to your campaign idea and your media platform. I think that's probably the most common mistake.
So let's talk about the virtual pitch itself. What should teams consider when it comes to presenting to the judges?
When it comes to the actual presentation time, think about it this way. If you were in a sports team that was in a grand final this weekend, you would spend all week rehearsing your tactics, working out plays on the training field before taking the field on the big day. And actually doing a pitch or presenting to the Pitch-Chella Awards judges is a little bit like that. Rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. There's my advice, there's my guidance. You won't win unless you're well rehearsed, you've down pat, you've worked out your timings, and you've got a presentation style that captures the hearts and minds of the judges, takes them on a journey.
Final question, if you could give one piece of advice to every team, what would that be?
If I could give one piece of advice, Sam, and it does sound a bit glib, I really want participants to have fun with this. It's a creative opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to express your creativity, for you to put something out there that perhaps you've always wanted to do that you haven't had the chance to do before. And it's a great opportunity to express all the great skills, capabilities, and demonstrate everything that you've learned thus far. So tell a good story, take the judges on a journey, and have fun along the way, I hope.
Thank you, Mike Wilson. And we look forward to welcome everyone at the finals party. That's open for everyone to join, so we hope everyone comes along, leaders, contestants. Whether you didn't get to the finalist stage, we hope to see you there. Thank you.